Hi, Sue. It is natural to want to share work stress with our partner, right? I mean, after all, having someone to share life's difficulties with is a part of being in a relationship.
Absolutely. You want to go home and vent and relax and be understood as a person.
So how do we know when we're crossing that line into unfairly burdening our partner?
Now, there's a few signposts. If your partner's getting overwhelmed or frustrated or anxious, if the work talk is taking over the whole evening, if your partner's needs aren't being met, if it's all you're talking about, those are some trouble signals.
And Sue, can you actually ruin a marriage or a relationship with too much negativity?
Psychologists say you can, that if it really begins to become the tenor or the tone of your marriage, it can really take the joy out of it. And research shows that job satisfaction does predict marital dissatisfaction. There's a big spillover factor.
Oh, that's terrible. So now let's break this down. If you are the spouse being complained to, how do you recommend responding? It's interesting that we shouldn't necessarily be quick to give advice, right?
Fascinating. Some of the spouses I interviewed said the first instinct is to give advice. You want to fix it and get it done with. That really doesn't work very well. It can even be a little condescending because you probably don't know all the ins and outs of your mate's job. What's missed often is how powerful empathy can be. Simply listening, hearing, active listening, showing you understand can really make a person feel stronger and more confident. And this in turn has benefits on the job. And that's also proven in research that that kind of behavior can actually lead to greater job satisfaction.
So when you say empathy, it's sort of like listening and saying, yeah, that sounds awful. That must be really bad. Yeah, I can see why you're upset. End of story.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't mean you agree or that you have to do anything differently. This is another thing that's misunderstood about empathy. It just means you hear them and understand, you validate their feelings and psycho speak, and it really can help.
All right. So let's say, though, you've reached the end of your rope and your sympathy well has run dry. Then what?
Well, you need to speak up. The therapist I interviewed said as soon as you begin to feel overwhelmed or frustrated, say so. And there's some easy steps to take. Just ask for time limits on how much talk about work we do. Ask your spouse if they can say more concisely what's bothering them. And take a break. Do something together that will get your minds off the idea.
And if you are the partner who tends to dump it on your spouse, what advice do you have?
Well, try not to start the minute you step over the threshold. Relax, maybe change your clothes, go for a run. Think through what you're really feeling. Ask your spouse, can you hear this right now? I really need to talk about this problem at work, and learn to say it quickly rather than just going on and on. Try to state exactly what it is that the problem is bothering you.
I like that advice of going on a run before you get into it. That gets a lot of stuff out. All right, Sue, thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Tanya.